So welcome to you all. Welcome to this class tonight or this morning or this afternoon. Whenever you see this, you're so welcome to join this online healing class, How to Heal. And the title of the class is coming from one of the very popular videos, talks of Joel, and it's called How to Heal, and it's in 4 segments. So How to Heal 1 is the one that we're going to use in this series of classes. And so for now, I would say, yeah, this is your time off. This is the time that you can dislodge from the world, that you can deeply relax, and that you signed up for to really make contact with yourself. Coming from the kingdom is within me, and so I have to go inside in order to realize who I really am, and also to get to know what actually is going on in this dream that I'm living, and even getting glimpses of awakening out of it by seeing it for what it is. And so the healing classes that will follow are they have a certain, say, curriculum. I don't know yet what it is, but I saw already that this one is really dedicated to miracles, and the next one will be dedicated to forgiveness, and so on and so on. So the 3 places that the information comes from that I'm reading will be Joel's talk, and A Course in Miracles, and The Way of Mastery. And so I use this because this is an integral part of my own experience of myself in the recognition of who I am. So that in that way I can just extend it to you, because I cannot separate the parts anymore. It's like, to me, that there's only one mind teaching. There's only one teacher. It's coming from Spirit, and Spirit talks through all different ways. It can be music, it can be a download or channeling that somebody gets, or it can be a book that suddenly you read one line, even though it's not even a spiritual book, but you read one line and you're so caught in it, or it resonates with you on a large scale, that it actually tells you something about who you really are. And I don't care about where that comes from, whether it's music, whether it's poetry, whether it's art, or whether it's one of the books that we use or one of the scriptures that we use. It is all bringing us to the same point, and that is the recognition of who we really are. And so like today I said, okay, we're going to the idea of miracles is going to be very pronounced, and the great thing about miracles is that they are not, they're not ruled by time, but they actually are operating from out of time. So they collapse time, so they can speed things up for us. And a miracle is nothing but a remembrance of who you really are. But in that remembrance, you actually make a step in time and you learn, like you overcome something that would have taken 1,000 years for you to even learn it. Like if we would go by the progression of the humankind, as you can see it when you turn on the television, is that it's going very slow. Then there's a conflict there. Then there's this. Like it's one step forward, 2 steps backward, and that goes. It is so slow. It is not progressing at all. And so the miracle helps us to collapse time and not being ruled by time, it can speed things up for your own, say, sojourn here on Earth. So that's why they're so very helpful. So I will read some of the principles in a moment, but before that, I want to bring you into this moment by the words that Joel is using. Joel used this in his talk, and it's just amazing. I used it on the website too, so I'll try to find it quickly on because it just comes in that I want to read that, and I put it with the invitation to this class. So listen to this, and this is the moment where everything is coming from. In this moment of spiritual communion, I have no envy in my heart. I have no desires in my heart, no jealousy, no greed, no lust, no animality. I set this world free. There's nothing it has that I want. Since I and the Father are one, I receive my good by the grace of God. And whatever good should flow into me and out of me, I freely give to all, to every neighbor, every friend or foe. So this is the threshold where we enter into this room, literally this space where miracles are natural, and where miracles are happening all the time. Where miracles are basically, this is basically where we dedicate our lives to. Coming into the remembrance of who we really are and extending that to whoever we meet. So I thought it was a really nice beginning. Like this is available on the website too, but it's like you can use this for your meditation. So print it or do whatever you want with it. When you read it, it literally aligns you with your true nature, with your true being. So thank you so much for joining with me in this healing class. And I will start reading something that is not directly the miracle principles like they're stated in the Course in Miracles, but it is just after the 50 miracle principles, and it tells you more about the function of miracles. So the miracle minimizes the need for time. In the longitudinal or horizontal plane, the recognition of the equality of the members of the sonship appears to involve almost endless time. However, the miracle entails a sudden shift from horizontal to vertical perception. And this is what you recognize, the horizontal to vertical perception. That is a real shift you can feel inside yourself. Suddenly it's like, woof, wow, I can see things in a different way. Like maybe you just had an experience like that because we were aligning with literally with the vertical perception of being in communication with every aspect of our being. And Joe will refer to that to us, for us. So, however, the miracle entails a sudden shift from horizontal to vertical perception. This introduces an interval from which the giver and receiver both emerge farther along in time than they would otherwise have been. The miracle thus has the unique property of abolishing time, to the extent that it renders the interval of time it spans unnecessary. There is no relationship between the time a miracle takes and the time it covers. And here it is, like the miracle substitutes for learning that might have taken thousands of years, and it can just be done like in a flash. So the nature of miracles is like a quantum leap. It's like an incredible speed up. It's like a collapse of time. It comes together in this present moment. Suddenly you fall into this by your new communication that's going on. Like you discover your vertical perception, and this alignment with the universe will help you to abolish time. That like makes time less important, or less like it literally collapses time. So you don't have to go through all of this, but it literally collapses it and makes it, creates like a speed up in your development, in your spiritual development. So this is the basics of that, of the miracle. You know, this is an important part of it. Like it literally is not that you have to learn. No, it literally is like you allow the miracle to happen to you in terms of letting it collapse time for you. And the giver of a miracle and the receiver of a miracle both go through this. So that makes it so useful for you to extend this to whoever wants to receive it, whether the person is in front of you or whether he's living somewhere else. Like if you accept this for yourself, it literally extrapolates to many of us. Okay, so I got just a lot of really nice ingredients for this class, and it's not that I'll keep reading all the time, but it's like first we'll go through a couple of fundamentals, or literally like the foundation for this class. So one that really needs to be read or given to is a prayer, or it's a meditation. Like the talk of Joel was this is a little story. Like the talk of Joel was how to heal, was transcribed by one of us, and after that it was say somebody took out the concepts out of it, or the really deep fundamental things that Joel says. She took it out of it, and then I put it together as almost like a prayer in a meditation form, and I will read that to you, like the first one. So we made out of the four talks that Joel did about how to heal, we made 40 of these meditation days. And you can download the PDF of it on evhub.com, and you can use it for your daily meditation. So I'll read you the first day, and this holds one of the key ideas that is very essential to absorb, or to keep with you, to keep with yourself when you are in this with me. So meditation of day one is called I and the Father are one. The truth about every man, woman, and child that exists on the face of the globe, saint or sinner, is that in our spiritual identity, I and my Father are one. And here it is, like there's not a God and man, and there's not a God and you. No, there's God expressed individually as you and me. God appears on earth as individual being. The life, which is God, is your individual life. The mind, which is God, is your mind. The soul, which is God, is your soul. The Spirit of God is the spirit of man, and even your body is the temple of the living God. I and my Father are one. And the Father says, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. God is expressed as individual being, and all that the Father has is manifested right here. So that's what I call a pillar. You know, that's part of the foundation too. So there's such thing as miracles. There's an idea of there's no difference between you and God. Like there's not a God in you, but the part that's real about you is what God is. That is God expressing himself as the love that created it. You know, be the love that created you. And you cannot not. Like the part that is not doing that, so to speak, has no reality whatsoever. Okay, so that's another part. I can hardly choose whatever. There's too much to be shared. So that's good. So I don't know how many classes will follow. We'll see, because it's like there's so much that's connected to this and that I would love to share with you. So that I didn't even say like, okay, these are 6 classes or 10 or whatever. No, I have no idea. But we're going to continue with the following. So I'll read you from A Course in Miracles a couple of miracle principles. So when you open A Course in Miracles book, there's a textbook, there's a workbook, and a manual for teachers. So this is from the textbook, and this is the first chapter. So you open the book on chapter 1, and you see Principles of Miracles. So I'll read a couple of them. There's no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They're all the same. And here it is. All expressions of love are maximal. So here, miracle principle 3. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. All miracles mean life, and God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. So you will be told all that you need to know. Miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more, for those who temporarily have less. Miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love to both the giver and the receiver. So this is how you can recognize it as being a miracle. It would be the same as the solution that's being offered by your Holy Spirit. Like there's more love for you as a giver or receiver. Like both parties in this, if there is such thing, will receive more love. And here's miracle principle 11. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of communication of the created with the creator. Through prayer, love is received. And through miracles, love is expressed. Through prayer, love is received. And through miracles, love is expressed. Miracles are both beginnings and endings, and so they alter the temporal order. They are always affirmations of rebirth, which seem to go back but really go forward. They undo the past in the present and thus release the future. They are always affirmations of rebirth. It's like they confirm, it is like a rebirth that takes place when you receive a miracle. Which seem to go backward but really go forward. They undo the past in the present and thus release the future. It is literally, so I will stop reading these, like it's literally that if you receive this miracle for yourself, you see that it is like the past is undone in the present moment. Like suddenly you come up to the point where the issue that appears to be there in the past suddenly is just gone. Like you can't find it anymore. And for sure, it feels like the door is completely open to an say free future. Like it is not defined as it would have been starting from the past. Like you can walk around with an idea like how is this supposed to go? How does this supposed to work? Or can I go through with this, or what is occurring? I have no idea what I should do. And suddenly there's a shift in your perception, and you receive the love that you were looking for, or it is like you receive the love. It just happens, and then you feel that whatever was there just a moment ago is completely gone. You can't find it anymore. But you know now that wherever you walk now, it will be free of that. It's literally a healing took place, like something is being solved. It just isn't there anymore. And this is like the way that you recognize that took place is that something occurs where your brother or sister or your mate or whoever is with you comes through that with you, and you both end up um, experiencing a deeper love. It's like, however, what was, I have no idea what it was, but it actually worked. It is like something solved, something is lifted off my shoulder, and I'm free of it. So, and this is what Jesus also says then in the course of, like it is collapsing time. So you don't need to learn that lesson anymore. Something happened in which that is taken away for you, or is being transmuted for you, and suddenly you're free of it, and you don't have to get back into that. So that's great. That's so lovely. So it's not magic. It's not that you do a certain trick and then suddenly poof, the thing is gone. No, but you know when you go through this that actually you're experiencing a deep love, and whoever is in it with you experiences that too. And whether you were the giver or receiver of the miracle, it doesn't even matter. You both get happy from it. It's like you both feel released, and you feel free of it. So yeah, this is great. So I'll keep you right there. So I want to read the second day meditation, because Jill was basically expressing what it is to experience a miracle, or to experience a relief, or basically your own individual singular experience of the truth of who you are. but he expresses it in a very nice way that I would love to share with you. So bear with me in this. So day 2, the meditation will be like this. The kingdom of God is within me. If I desire anything at all, I go right here. If I seek the healing light or consciousness, I must turn within. The kingdom of God is within me. I must turn within and I must let it come into manifestation or expression, because in our humanhood, our Christhood is locked up inside of us. My task then is to find an inner peace, an inner communion with that which we call the Father within, to get so quiet, so still, with that listening ear, that sooner or later I can feel something released. You may see it as a deep breath, as if you were going, as if I were doing that. And that's what sometimes happens, a deep breath, like a big sigh. Or at other times it feels like a release, as if a weight fell off my shoulders. And all of a sudden I was released from the strain of my own thinking or humanhood. Sometimes we experience a feeling at the solar plexus, a warmth, like something is completely warming up. You have to take off your sweater in order to get through it. Sometimes it may be that the hands feel warm. All of these things are effects and they're relatively unimportant, but how you feel the presence of God is just an individual experience within you. And you may feel it in an entirely different way than I do. And that is fine, that's great. So trust the way that you experience it, and also know that there's no other way to experience it than your way. Like you don't have to do it the teacher's way or the somebody else's way. No, you can hear from your brother or sister that there are different ways of experiencing that, and you can basically experiment with it if you want, or be open that it can come to you in many ways, so that your whole repertoire of experiencing this can be expanded. You know, that's great too. And why not let that happen? So in order to be open to receive the miracle or to receive this experience of the truth of who you are, or how we said it before, it's like a sudden shift from a horizontal to a vertical perception. And that, however that is being brought about, is by your openness, so that you don't decide how this will come to you, but let it be completely received by you. So it's like you get used, not really used to it, but it's more like you get comfortable with it, because it's like, yeah, that's where you count on. You literally are not, yeah, you're entitled to miracles, but also it's like it becomes like a very natural part of your life to have these miracles occur to you, or to extend them to others, just by your mere awareness of it. And also that you're, yeah, it's like my life is dedicated to it. So yeah, please train with that, or be conscious of that. You know, that's a wonderful way to extend yourself as the love that you are. So I'll bring in some the way of mastery now, and this will be connected to the body. I posted this a couple of days ago too on the EV Hub website. At no time are you imprisoned within the body. At no time are you limited to the appearance that you have come to believe is you. No matter how deep the pain, no matter how certain you have been, what you call your common sense telling you that I am here, I'm this body, this moment is happening, this is all there is. Regardless of all of that, the truth is not shaken. You are the mere appearance of the body-mind that you have called the self with a small s. So at no time are you limited to the appearance that you have come to believe is you, no matter how deep the pain, no matter how certain you've been, what you call your common sense, telling you that I am here, I am this body, this moment is happening, this is all there is. As if this dream figure that you believe to be is all that there is. So continue on that with this. For virtually all beings born within the human sphere live by an agreement such as this. I'm just the body and therefore I'm separate from all others. That is merely an agreement and decision to create experience. You are equally free to say within yourself, I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity and my existence. I am in perfect communications with all forms of life at all times. I need only withdraw my attention from my perception of my body to access communication with anyone at any time. I'll read it again. I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity and my existence. I am in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. I need only withdraw my attention from my perception of my body to access communication with anyone at any time. So, and here it continues. I said once in A Course in Miracles that you have never forgotten the body, even for a moment. And yet a moment it is all it takes to realize that you are not the body. I did not mean by this that you should deny the body, but rather that you be willing to surrender your perception of what the body is. That it is not a device that separates you at all. And why is this so? You see, you once decided to dream the impossible dream, the dream of separation. The body is the result of that thought, the attempt to create something that succeeds in separating you from the mind of God. But you have never succeeded, for in the moment that you began to emerge, the Holy Spirit already translated it into something that is not a separation device, but a communication device. You failed, and the Holy Spirit did not. Wow. So this is another invitation to look in a different way. So this is like decide. It's like an agreement to free yourself from your idea about yourself. I'll read this paragraph once more. I am more than a body. My mind is vast and unlimited, and that is the deeper essence of my identity and my existence. I'm in perfect communication with all forms of life at all times. I need only withdraw my attention from my perception of my body to access communication with anyone at any time. So you need to withdraw the attention of your body in order to be in communication with anyone that you meet or don't even meet, but you have the possibility to access, to be in communication with everyone. And so this is an essential step in realizing that communication is ongoing, and it's also an invitation to an experiment with yourself. Like, you have this as a communication device. You're able to use this continuously to be in communication with whoever you want. You can use it as a communication device, and also then as a healing device, like not confirming the separation, but confirming the union. And so that's something to really experiment with, because the options are literally limited, to see that is true, and also to discover that is true. Like, let yourself be convinced by all the possibilities that are there. And that can be that you sit still and think about a certain person, and just send them love, or somebody comes to mind that you haven't seen for a while, and you just give them everything. Or you come up with ideas, you know exactly what to do. It's like there's no moment in which you are separate. So that means everyone is with you, and that means also that you can communicate with anyone at any time. And yeah, you use your body with it, but also it's like you step back out of it too. It's like, not that your body is so important in this communication, but it is an it is giving you the opportunity to sit still and let a communication occur, or let come up whoever you're thinking about, just to have this contact for a moment, whether it's in time or out of time, whether it's somebody that passed away or somebody that has to be born. It really does not matter. Like, it's not connected to time whatsoever. Like, your communication is going, has nothing to do with time. So now we have the miracles. Now we have the prayers that we read. We have a personal experience. You let it come to you in your own way. When you feel warmth, when you're reading something, or when your hands start glowing, or when you have to sigh really deep, or whether you have to move around a little bit, or whether you have to laugh, or let all this be expressed through you, but also don't suppress it whatsoever. Just enjoy it, because this is your communication with your creator. And this is how we heal, to be in communication. And this is how you can extend it to others, by being in communication, by having this direct contact, by having direct contact with your creator. And that's the same what it says in the way of mastery too. It's like you have communication with every aspect of creation. So use that too when you, for instance, go to a forest, or if you walk on the beach. So try to communicate with everything that is, and you will be so amazed by the overwhelming presence of all of it, that no matter where you are, you're in communication. And so the confirmation of that there's no such thing as separation is always so comforting. Like, that does not stop. It's so incredible to have that be confirmed in this life, what appears to be your personal life, where you walk around on this planet, and having all the confirmations around you that you appear to be separate from every aspect, but then seeing it for what it is, and looking beyond this human perception, entering into an openness and a stillness where everything literally can be received by you, and by like receiving the communication by you. And that will lead to you like an incredible gratitude for everything that's occurring. And this is what we're offering, like this is what I'm offering to you in this class. To be open, to be like starting an experiment and discovering what is possible for you to be consciously aware of when you're somewhere, like to be open to see that you're in communication with every aspect of being, of creation. See, if you start to recognize it in yourself, you start to recognize that outside of yourself too, because there's literally nothing outside yourself. So it is like a confirmation of the of the link or the communication that's going on. So to come back to the idea of this body, like this body would be the would be the confirmation that you can be separate. Like you appear to be there, you appear to be there, and I appear to be here, and you know by now that that has no reality whatsoever. Um, so the healing that can take place is by you receiving it, even on a physical level. You can literally, like Joe says too, look with becoming warm or feeling light in your head, or feeling that you're opening and have to move around in order to receive all that light. You use your body for that. So it's like your body is like a receiver for it too. Like it helps you to have a palpable realization or a palpable feeling of the communication that is continuous. So thank you so much for joining me in this teaching, in this class. Just because it's so great to remind each other that this communication is ongoing and that it is available for all of us. Like you just have to be open and receive it, and you just have to take time to stand still and even step backward in order for it to receive it. So that's so great about having, choosing to have a little time off or a little quiet time together, in which we can, help each other to remember that this is your reality, that all the blah blah that you see projected outwards or read in the newspapers or see on television is just something that appears to be a distraction to you, and you can lose yourself in your daily life, and you can completely be caught up in it. But in the end, when you take your quiet time, you enter into the same moment as the moment that Joel described in this beautiful little piece of prayer. I will read it once more. In this moment of spiritual communion, I have no envy in my heart. I have no desires in my heart, no jealousy, no greed, no lust, no animality. I set this world free. There's nothing it has what I want. Since I and the Father are one, I receive my good by the grace of God. And whatever good should flow into me and out from me, I freely give to all, to every neighbor, friend, or foe. Oh, and with that, I would say thank you so much for joining this class. I'm really happy that you're here with me and joining me in this, and I hope to see you soon.